Ninja here. Hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about a sector in the real estate market that is in serious trouble. We've got problems with Fanny and Freddie. That's a really exciting story. And Rocket Homes now being accused by the US of illegal kickbacks. There are a lot of things that are going to come out in the open, just like what happened in 2006. By 2008, the whole world's like, oh my gosh, we never saw it. But hopefully you're seeing these signs and it'll give you more conviction to hold off. There's deals to be made right now. Sure, you can buy a property for 30% less than its all-time high right now. I know that sounds crazy. I'm in the middle of bidding on some of them for specific reasons. But if you're wanting to buy the bulk of real estate, you don't want that to happen until it's in the news. Real estate prices are falling, even though that's starting to come out in Yahoo News using the words plummeting and things like that. But also, you want it on when the real estate, the interest rates are diving down. See, we have something that no other period in time since 1980 has happened, and that is very serious inflation. And as the Fed dropped rates just recently, you've seen the 10-year bond move up because bond investors are saying, there's no way I'm going to lock my money up for a certain amount of time, knowing that the government is lying about the inflation numbers. So to say this is the most exciting time for a real estate investor to be alive is an understatement. But the sad thing is I'm watching real estate investors in my own town right now flip properties that they just bought for, let's say, 800 grand. They're trying to sell it for $1 million. They've been on the market for 60, 90, 120 days. They can't sell them. And they have no wiggle room because their profit, I've seen a lot of them drop their prices now and I know construction well enough when I walk into a home. As a matter of fact, one of you, an amazing subscriber, I was just at a property he was developing. He's the contractor rebuilding an entire home. And I walked in, he doesn't have skin in the game as far as he's not the investor. I walk in, I'm all $250,000 contract. He goes to the penny. And I'm like, I got a pretty good job. I mean, that's all I did was flip homes in the early 2000s. So I got a pretty good idea of how much these things go for. Well, a lot of these homes, I know how much they put into these because I go look at the older Zillow photos, the last real estate listing photo when they bought it, 5 months ago, and they're in the hurt locker. They're screwed. They can't sell these homes for even break even. It's happening all around. And there's going to be a lot of capitulation that's about to happen for home sellers or home flippers because they don't understand this cycle. So let's dive into these stories. The first story is, let's go with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. This is out of the American Banker. And it says, why setting Fannie and Freddie Mac free is a gamble. All right. Truth is, Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae are already embroiled in some very serious scandals. It's not a conspiracy theory. They have been making illegal loans. Okay. And the only way they keep making money is if they keep loaning money, right? Well, they've been doing it a little shady and it's starting to come out. So let's talk about, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's free on my phone and it's not here. All right. I'm going to give you the broad version. Fannie and Freddie are constrained under guidelines that the government puts out for conforming loans, right? And nobody can afford conforming loans. And I'll give you an example. One of those is the minimum down payment, right? 3 to 5% for a conforming loan for an FHA. And people don't have 3% to put down. You saw this with Rocket Mortgage, the story we're going to get into a little bit from now, where Rocket Mortgage lowered their down payment threshold to 1%. Well, just so you know, they're stacking that on the back end because they're either charging you points up front for the ability to put down just the 1%, or they make it up on the back end. And the scary thing is about Rocket Mortgage, it's one of the most expensive mortgages that you can get today. Yet they have all this flashy advertising, even including like a NASCAR, right, with their name all over it. Well, that stuff costs the end consumer money. And it's really scary. When I was doing the research for the Mortgage Master and the Investor Mortgage Pro or whatever courses to teach everyone how to save stupid amounts of money in mortgages, Rocket Mortgage is right up there. They're the largest lender in the country, right? Non-bank lender. And they're going to be embroiled in a bunch of stuff. We're going to get into that in a second. But Fannie and Freddie are constrained by these government conforming loans, the loan rules. And right now there's a massive scandal that they have been breaking those rules for a handful of years. And that's what this story on American Banker was talking about. Sorry, I got totally blocked for not having it. I read it earlier. I didn't. I skimmed through it. They are having a hard time making money because they can't make loans. As a matter of fact, right now in America, there are less homes being sold right now in 2024 than were in 2008. This is really bad, but it's also really good. Sellers are getting so stressed out and ticked off, it's crazy. People have stopped paying their property taxes. The truth is, right now, 1 in 6 people are either late or have not paid their property taxes in our country. I know it sounds crazy. I'm watching these numbers. Also, remind you, there's a sale link. It's good until the end of the year for Tax Lien Pro and the tax deed course. Those combined. If you want to learn how to do this and be ready for that next cycle, which starts in earnest, you're going to see this blow up. It'll be all over the news in the spring. Then go check out those courses. Also, the LLC tips and tricks. If you want to start an entity, it's $35 right now. We're running that until the end of the year as well. So let's move on from the American Banker story and let's stop talking about Fannie and Freddie. We'll dive into Rocket Homes, okay? So right now, the U.S. government is accusing Rocket Homes of illegal kickbacks in a mortgage scheme. And you're going to see a lot more truth coming out about these companies pretty soon. It says the top U.S. watchdog agency for consumer finance on Monday accused Rocket Homes, a unit of Rocket Companies, and the Jason Mitchell Group of real estate brokerages of an illegal kickback scheme to steer mortgage applications back to Rocket. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Rocket Homes, one of the largest mortgage lenders in the United States, and I believe they're the largest non-bank lender in the country, but they're putting them in with banks, piled the real estate brokerages with referrals and other inducements so that the brokers and agents would steer real estate settlement back to a Rocket affiliate. Jason Mitchell allegedly offered dog bone awards of $250 gift cards to agents making the most referrals back to favored partners, including Rocket affiliates, ArmRock and Rocket Mortgage, according to the CFPB. Now, why is this important? When you couple this with what they have been doing to stretch the bounds and move outside of conforming loan limits and hooking people up with very dangerous mortgages. We're talking about, 1 year, 2 year, maybe 3 year ARMs. This is what got everyone in trouble back in 2005, 2006, right? They were doing these negative amortization eventually, which I know is coming back. We already have ninja loans out already. There are already, you can get homes right now in America without qualifying through how much you make. Okay, you can do stated income. I know it sounds crazy. It actually exists. There is a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't see. But if you walk into one of these brokerages and you can't get a loan through contemporary means, they're going to get you that money. And nobody's saying anything right now. You're going to see all this blow up as everything implodes. And my call, type 1 if you agree, first quarter of 2025, when the new president's in, all of a sudden, all this insane revelation is going to come out. And they're going to blame the current president. And it's crazy because I've been reporting on this for years, right? And now we're at that moment where the dam's actually already broken. There's already a moment where this truth is coming out, right? The scandal with Fanny Mae. This stuff right now about the U.S. now coming out and accusing Rocket Mortgage. See, these are those shots across the bow where the government can go, hey, we knew what was going on. We warned you. We're already accusing people. Well, why aren't you stopping them, right? Well, we're going to wait until the next administration. That's actually what's going to happen. Now, it says Rocket Homes rejected the allegations, calling the lawsuit flimsy and vowing to fight it. They said the facts are clear. Data shows 1/3 of customers with a loan application already in progress with Rocket Mortgage before contracting Rocket Homes chose to close the different lender, right? So they're going to have to prove this. Monday's announcement marked the third major action by the CFPB since Friday, following lawsuits against Walmart, as well as JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo over those banks allegedly mishandling or of fraud on peer-to-peer payments. These news stories are going to keep persisting, and I want to bring them out because I want people to understand the real estate cycles and how to play them properly. And we're not there where you need to be diving into real estate right now. This is the time to be saving up money, getting your own personal household finances ready, right and tight, getting debt paid down, consolidated to where you're able to have a nest egg ready to go to strike into the real estate market. I know it sounds crazy like I did in 2000 when everyone said I was crazy because real estate prices were falling, interest rates were falling at the same time, and I was gobbling up homes as fast as I could. Before there was a such thing as a home flipper, I was flipping homes. And that's where you want to be striking. When everyone thinks you're straight up nuts. I know it sounds crazy. Type 2 if you agree with me. You want to be the nutball going out when nobody is in competition with you, gobbling up real estate. And you want to be laughed at. I know it sounds funny, but I've gotten used to it over time. You want to be called the nutball. So here, go. The economic ninja, nutball. And that's where you want to be, because that's where you know you're on the right side of a cycle. Just like Warren Buffett sold all of his stocks and went to a pretty good cash position in 2005. People are like, what's he doing? And then he started gobbling up transportation stocks, railroad stocks, things, shipping stocks in 2007 while everything was crashing. He's already done the same thing now. He's actually moved to the largest cash hoard in the history of Berkshire Hathaway. And he's going to do the exact same thing. All I want you to do the same thing. I want you to do what nobody else is doing. Be an elite investor. If you want to get ready for liens and deeds season, it's already started actually in the last 6 months, because all of these homes are now being put on the auction block and selling for literally 25 cents on the dollar. But it really blows up in earnest this spring. And that cycle is going to last 2 years. And so I want you ready before that. So if you want to take the courses and be ready, I've spent thousands of dollars on courses over time, and I've studied this for a greater part of a decade. I want you to be ready for a fraction of the cost. So the link's down below to that course if you want to get ready now, and there are coaching sessions. When you buy the courses now and a whole year of coaching sessions, if you want to do it, I mean, think all in, it's like $1,100. My last course I spent $2,000 on. It ain't worth the paper it was written on. So that's my goal. We're almost completely finished with Tax Lien Pro. That should be done in the next week. And then we're on to the Tax Foreclosure Master. And that's going to be pretty powerful. All right, with that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Real Estate Ninja is out.